What's up, everyone? DJ Nubis here with you on the Meltdown Radio podcast, doing another Kaiju Spotlight. This time we're doing Megalon with my special guest, Tokusatsu from Tokusatsu Action Land. Thank you, sir, for being here.
Thank you for having me on the show.
No problem, buddy. So obviously today we're talking about Megalon. I'm just doing my spotlights for certain Kaiju, and of course I'll keep doing that throughout the next couple months. Just a little background with Megalon. Of course, he appears in Godzilla vs. Megalon 1973. It's also the first time we get to see Jet Jaguar. And, of course, Gigan as well appears, which, of course, Gigan got in a couple other films. But for these two guys, like Jet Jaguar and Megalon, this was like their one and only appearance on live action films. They've been appearing in animations and stuff like that. But for you, like, what was your first time seeing Megalon, and what were your thoughts when you saw this particular kaiju?
I'm impressed. I look at Megalon. I have to put a reference from Digimon because this is like a giant mega metal Kabuterimon or mega Kabuterimon is like his final evolution in Digimon Adventure. I'm like, this guy is impressive to me. It's like a giant bug king insect, whatever you want to call it, and he's just the king of all bugs. I like also how he is also just dominant. It's like he's just dominant with how powerful this character is. He left a really cool impression. Like, I would like to see more of Megalon in the Godzilla movies if they ever did him. They never killed him permanently, so he's still alive out there.
True.
This is my first introduction to the Seatopians because these characters, they were the ones that basically summoned Megalon. I also, when watching this movie, I got like a couple of 007 vibes with like the car chase scene where they're they're chasing after the guy, and then right as they're infiltrating the house and stuff in the beginning where the bad Seatopians, I'm assuming that's what they were. They didn't.
Yeah, it was kind of cool, their whole like plot device with, Jet Jaguar and the advancement of technology and robotics. I talked about this a little bit with Walter Ross, Jedi Grand Vale, when we did the spotlight for Jet Jaguar, and it's like, this is kind of before we even started getting into robotics in real life. You had this like symbiotic being, and so the plot with there's these people trying to like hijack and hack into Jet Jaguar's mind and control him. So yeah, that's a good point you made there with that.
Yeah, I mean, our technology was advancing, back when we had this film. So,
So yeah, as you said, he's the god of the Seatopians that live pretty much close to the core of the earth. Uh, from what I understand, Megalon is sort of based off the Japanese rhinoceros beetle, which I can kind of see. I know a lot of people like to compare him to the cockroach, but that's not really what he's based off of. But he was really cool. There is some talk that, or at least rumors that Megalon was kind of the dumbest of the kaiju, which I don't know if I really believe that. I think,
I don't, I don't agree with that either.
yeah, like it's interesting because that movie itself is sort of very lighthearted. We saw a lot of crazy shit with Godzilla doing his little flying kick and stuff like that, but to me, Megalon was almost playful. It wasn't like dumb. He was just playful. We see it with his jumping and
Hmm.
celebrating with Gigan when they're kind of beating up on Jet Jaguar there a little bit. And so it's more of like he's not dumb. He's just playful. And, he's having a blast, like destroying the shit out of Tokyo and stuff like that. So I don't think it's anything to do with his intelligence. In fact, most times insects have great intelligence when you really think about it.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, just sticking with the Megalon theme, it does remind me of. He's not necessarily a cockroach. It's what you said. A Japanese beetle is what
Beetle. Yeah.
the Digimon character is. Also, that Megalon I compare it to. Also, I was going to point out that I'm assuming that's Godzilla's version of the rider kick with the tail dragging along the ground and the feet. Because I don't know if you've ever seen Kamen Rider or not,
No, I
but
have not
in
actually. No, I have not.
Kamen Rider, it's a drop kick like a wrestler uses for. It's like that
Right.
for the original Showa. That's what set up this whole franchise, and it's kind of like Megalon's motif in a sense because it's a bug. It started out with a bug as a franchise mascot for.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and it's interesting too because he's got this ability to fly, of course. Now he has this like horn thing that looks like a cross. I never really understood if that was supposed to be some sort of religious symbol of any kind. Like even though he was a god for the Seatopians, I didn't know if that had any kind of special meaning the way it was designed or just how they put it together. Uh,
Uh huh.
but it does shoot out like this laser beam ray, which we see similar to Ghidorah, which I think they use stock footage of Ghidorah's laser beams off of his, to use it for a Megalon, but it does have the same kind of power and destruction, which I was really impressed with too. Also, I don't know, maybe so he spits out like these grenade things. Do you know what that's supposed to be?
I would say it's a bomb or like either
But
it's a bomb.
is it just like is it like egg bombs? Like I never really understood
I don't
exactly.
understand it also completely, but
Yeah.
that would be my guess. Like maybe it's like a like because it's like a hockey puck in a sense about that
Yeah,
size.
it does kind of look like one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is sort of like a grenade because there's that scene where he spits one out at Godzilla who's on the ground, and then Jet Jaguar crawls over and then tosses it back at him. So it has that
Hmm.
kind of effect where it has like a timer on it. So he spits it, and then it's like 5 seconds later, it just goes up.
Uh-huh. Knowing who Jet Jaguar is, now it's like I want to watch more of Jet Jaguar. Me myself, this is like my first introduction to Jet Jaguar. I've seen clips and stuff from him in other Godzilla movies. It's just I want to, I got to watch more with this character,
Yeah,
but this character really interests me. What what they should do with this Megalon is they need to do a SH figure art. They have SH the monster art. Well, it's SH monster art. That's the toy. They have all these Godzilla characters and stuff in this franchise. That's what they need to do because these characters are molded like exactly like characters from shows, Japanese shows, movies, whatever, and they're really impressive. I think
Yeah,
Megalon would
go ahead.
fit
Sorry.
definitely into that category.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Like, I think I don't know if that's just someone's drawing. It looks like it is.
Yeah, it is. It
Pretty
looks.
cool stuff. And then there is this, and this looks like it's supposed to be some sort of figurine, but
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't know where or what that is. But it's actually pretty impressive if it is, because as I was talking to Kevin Lamb about the Kamunga, like they only have one really good one, which is hard to get,
This
in that particular series. So
I was also looking up how much, and they have like it's like $300 or something. This Megalon figure is,
yeah,
and I'm like, holy cow, that's too much.
yeah. And obviously, like I just purchased the -1 Super 7, and that's at least reasonable. That's like 85, so that's within my budget.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and that's usually if it's like 60 to 80 or 60 to $100, that's okay. But man, some people would be paying $400 to $600 for things, which I went to G Fest, a couple of years ago, and they had a nice Ghidorah, but it was like $600. I just could not get it. There's just no way.
I've never been to G Fest. That's maybe one of my plans for next year.
Ah,
Going.
yeah, I
So,
gotta go, brother. I think a lot of us are planning on going in 2026. So maybe save up and then you can come out and we'll hang out and stuff. That's what we
uh-huh.
did with a lot of the other guys last time.
I got to get our group together. I told them.
Yeah, and I noticed, like you mentioned, how you like Jet Jaguar, and now for people that don't know you, you're really big into like Ultraman and stuff like that. So tell them a little bit, real quickly, about like what you're about in terms of your channel and what you talk about.
Okay. Ours is like a podcast channel. First off, we cover common writers. Well, sorry. Let me fresh that. Our channel, we cover Ultraman, Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, Garo, Metal Heroes, anything Tokusatsu, Godzilla. We're currently doing the Godzilla Kong stuff
Hmm.
because we started originally with the original Godzilla as a starting point. Then we hit the second one, which is uh, Godzilla Returns, I think, or I'm I'm leaving it blank right now for the sequel name to Godzilla, but
Oh,
um,
Godzilla Raids Again, probably if you
yeah,
started from the
that's
beginning. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Godzilla Raids Again, which was actually really good. I enjoyed that one.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, then we went to King Kong because we're going in order in a sense
That's
with
cool.
the movies
Yeah.
because in the third one we'll be hitting after we do Son of Kong. We did King Kong and then Son of Kong because we wanted to do those. Well, Son of Kong will be this upcoming Thursday. Uh, and also then we will be covering the Thursday after is Godzilla versus Kong, the original,
Yeah.
and then the next one I think it's Godzilla versus Mothra after Godzilla versus Kong, and that's kind of my starting point in a sense for Godzilla because when I was younger, my uncle would record these movies off VHS tape, like they were on the VHSs, and I would see stock footage and the fight scenes and all that stuff. So,
That's cool. Yeah. So had you seen like the first two Godzilla films before, or was that the first time when you actually did the
I,
review for them?
no, I had seen the original Godzilla before. I had never seen the sequel. I had never seen
Okay.
Raids Again.
Gotcha.
Um, I kind of knew what it is, and I know what it is from Matt Sweeney, who is a big, big, big Anguirus fan. Um, and I liked Anguirus as well. He's newer to me, but He's one of those characters that I want to see more of. I would like to see him in the current MonsterVerse also, if alluded to. Heck, even Megalon would fit perfectly with this MonsterVerse because, I mean, I would like to see newer iterations of
Yeah,
characters in the
yeah,
MonsterVerse.
yeah. I've been playing around with that idea for a while. Like, I actually had like a short, I wouldn't say conversation, but on X, when Yamazuki, who directed Minus One, he was posting about their Oscar nominations at the time, and I said, and everybody was saying, you got to do a sequel to it, and then he was like, happy and liking posts, and I said, yeah, I wish you would do Godzilla Raids again because I would love to see your version of Angirius brought back on the modern times, and he kind of liked my post, so that was the little interaction I had with him on that, which kind of gave me a happy smile. But of course, the way that Minus One ends, I'm not going to spoil anything. It kind of leads more to an open door for like maybe Biollante, or technically Megalon could play a factor in that as well, just in terms of what you're seeing as far as the storyline. So the world's wide open for them on that end for Toho, but the MonsterVerse, they did play around with Anguirus's bones. But I would love to see them actually have the monster. It's always about cost, though, unfortunately. So I don't know what they're going to do with their next MonsterVerse film. It could be anything at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been fun. I love. I mean, you can't complain. Getting more Godzilla stuff out there is great. If it leads to maybe rebooting Gamera, which we've seen. Did you see the animation for Gamera?
No, I plan to. I think we'll cover that with the guy on the podcast channel, which is
Yeah.
on our names on below. Um, but yeah, we're trying every couple of weeks we're doing shows, so we're trying to hit it, like get it consistent schedule, maybe 2 shows per month. I don't know if that attracts people enough. The more you go, more I've looked at it this way with YouTube, the more you go live and the more frequent you are, the more subscribers you'll get, the more content you're going to get interactions with. You know what I
Well, it's
mean?
also about networking. So like we try to
Yeah.
do that. Like I try to help guys like you get out there a little bit. I've helped some of these other guys that I work with as collaboration. So I was just talking to Neko earlier today. We're revamping our Metal Tavern website, and I'm going to have a page dedicated to collaborated channels such as yourself, Samurai, Kevin Lambert, Entertainment Headquarters. So I'll be adding your guys' links in there to try to get people to go check your shit out. To me, that's important because we are like one big family. We all love this world of kaiju and monsters and robots and whatever. So, uh, but
Mm-hmm.
back into Megalon. So the plot that we have here is that, of course, Seatopians are trying to basically take over the world with Megalon, and
Uh-huh.
so they send them up. And they've managed to hack into Jet Jaguar. They've got the robot that's supposed to help them do this, but along the way, the guys who created Jet Jaguar managed to regain control. Only this time, Jet Jaguar reworks his own memory, so it's almost like AI. So we have early versions of AI we just never knew existed,
Mm-hmm.
in 1973. So Jet gets his own control back, and he goes to find Godzilla. So for your perspective with the movie itself, like how did you like the plot? Did you think it was going to the well too much in terms of like aliens, because Skygun shows up later from outer space? How did you feel about the plot overall?
I think it was really good. I mean, knowing this is the first time I've ever seen it, I'll probably watch it again when we watch it with the guys and stuff. Actually, it's gonna be funny. This is gonna be in my like top 5 Godzilla movies.
Nice. Yeah, you just put a smile on Jedi's face. This is one of his favorite films ever. So
I I mean, I
it's hard not to have fun with this film. It's a really fun film. It's actually, when I saw this, is one of the first 3 Godzilla films I ever saw. So I didn't even see the original until much later, but I
mm-hmm.
saw Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 74 first. Then I think it was Godzilla versus Gigan, and then it was Godzilla versus Megalon. So those were like the first three that I saw. So they do hold like a real nostalgia for me in terms of my growing up, because they kind of shaped the way that I saw Godzilla at the time.
When right in the beginning of the movie, when when they're out fishing, or when the kid's out in the water and stuff, um, I'm right when that water drains and stuff, I'm getting the feeling, oh, Megalon's coming right now, or something, something like that. That would have been cool. It would have added more. You could have, it's like movies where they have a creature that it makes its first appearance, then it'll come back later. I have to go with Clash of the Titans for an example, because in the original they have the
Yes.
Kraken that makes the appearance in the beginning of the movie, destroys the city, town, whatever it is, and then just later makes an appearance back in that.
Yeah.
I love that piece of film. That film is
It's
one of my
timeless, man.
favorites. Yeah,
That,
it's
did you ever see the remake? It was so bad.
the first one's not as bad as the sequel. I'll just say
Oh
that.
yeah, I don't think I even played around with the second one. I was like, "What are you doing? What?
Yeah,
What? Why are we doing this?"
I'm and it
I
also
think they were trying to go for a trilogy, but I don't know.
it wouldn't
It
have
was tough
worked.
for me.
The
Yeah,
second one
it was tough.
bombed in the box office, so
Yeah, but it's hard to, like you said, compared to Ray Harryhausen and his stop motion creatures. That was like the pinnacle of all that stuff.
uh-huh.
Let's see. Oh yeah, so weaponry. We were talking about his little laser beam thing. He can fly. Uh, he does have a sense of like power with his wings a little bit. I noticed that too. So
Uh-huh.
then he's got like these things. It's like half drills, and then when he brings it together, he can actually drill through the ground. So I thought that was very cool and very unique to him.
I enjoyed that feature of Megalon also. It was something really impressive. I think they did a really cool job designing Megalon. Um and yeah, I think this Megalon is one of my favorite designs of a kaiju ever. I mean,
Yeah.
uh
Oh, I lost you. Technical difficulties. Is he's there? He goes. He's
Am I
back.
better?
Yeah. Yeah.
My mic's unmuted. Hold on.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Oh, shoot. I got unplugged, replug.
There you go. So yeah, definitely go ahead.
sorry about that. I had tech issues real quick.
It happens.
Yeah. You love to see it.
Yep.
Megalon is something really cool to me, and it Megalon was I really liked the design of him. I don't know if you read. I was doing a little bit of research about this movie as well before coming in the other day, and I was like, they missed a feature with Gigan, like his blade or whatever his
Talking about the chest thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
or whatever his like his buzz saw or
Yeah.
whatever ability he has, and that and then this this movie, when I'm watching it, I'm noticing all these wires and stuff for all these characters. It's really faint, but you can see wires for Megalon. Um, if they're doing him in redoing, if he returns in the MonsterVerse, I don't know how long this MonsterVerse will last. By the way, I don't know if this next one's the last one or what. But
I keep saying, but I keep hoping they do more.
I mean, I'm down for it. It's just
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So speaking of that, though, because let's say they do bring Megalon into the Monsterverse or even into the -1 verse. Now, what would you change anything with the design? Would you change anything with his weaponry? Would you add anything or subtract anything? What would you like to see personally?
I want to see Megalon with a jetpack. Instead,
With,
I
with,
want like, so I want. Okay, I have to pull a reference from a Mecha Godzilla, but I would like to see a Mecha Megalon.
that might make some sense because we talked about again with his little twisty things as he brings them together and they're able to
It's a drill.
kind of
I'm no,
so
right when
in
he.
some ways you look at it and you say, well, is he kind of mechanical? What has he got going on there?
What I wish they had fleshed out, and this would have made the made it more understandable and stuff, is that they should have had Megalon. Uh, they should they should have had him they should have gone over the backstory of Megalon. Like, I mean, all we know is it's this creature named Megalon. All we know there's Seatopians. I don't know if the Seatopians were in a previous film or introduced, but see, I have never heard of these Seatopians before Megalon. So
To my knowledge, it's the only time they're referenced, which is always kind of funny because again, they end up calling out to whoever for Gigan to appear. So we know that Gigan's been, in other films and obviously part of that whole like team with King Ghidorah at times, which you may not have got to yet, but he does share that space with King Ghidorah. So clearly they're alien species and who knows who the Seatopians were calling out to, but that's, they, as you said, they didn't really elaborate. And of course, back then, these plots were really paper thin, so they didn't waste a lot of time on it. But obviously now with the Monsterverse and, you got Monarch, the TV series out there, they might be
I'll
able
have
to
to
go
watch
through and
this
start.
that one. I have to
Yeah,
watch.
it's a little bit more of a slow burn because they don't spend a lot of time with the kaiju that much, but it does fill in the gaps of the movies, which is kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that about it. But would you like to see his design about the same, or
I
would
would like to
you?
see some new abilities. Like, I think what would be cool for Megalon, what's if he added, like, instead of shooting the things from his mouth, like his tendril thing, I don't know
Yeah,
what the name of the in where his mouth, the
the
specification
mandibles,
name of them,
whatever.
mandibles,
Yeah,
that's what it is.
yeah.
But I think it would be cool. What if you had babies for Megalon? Like,
Well, see, I thought about that just now too. Not so much from the mouth, but like if he shimmied his wings,
yeah, that's what
you can almost like a swarm of little creatures, bugs,
mhm,
babies, whatever you want to call them, coming out because
moths
you,
or
yeah, you can almost look at it kind of like. Did you ever see Cloverfield?
no, that's one I don't know if I'll watch, but
But yeah, so anyway, in that one, this creature, huge creature, rubs against a building, and he has like what these are like little parasites that drop off, and they're more, not so much human size, a little bit bigger than humans, but they're enough to attack little human people. So
uh-huh.
if you have Megalon with some sort of like carrying these little critters, and it's sort of like another weapon, a swarm of sorts.
Mhm.
So that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, and I think it would be cool to have like maybe some weaponry on the knees or like um maybe a chest, like something in the chest area, like a weaponry. I'm just trying to maybe he could have like shoot out buzz saws or something from his chest or something. I'm just playing him around in what Megalon could
Yeah,
do, but
yeah, or even because he does have his eyes. I mean, you can utilize something with the eyes in some way.
mhm.
Who knows? It could be just like a beam array or something. Who knows?
But what I kind of noticed, and I don't know if this is normal, but I'm like, that looks like lightning or something, kind of like what I'm noticing when Megalon shoots out the beam. It looks to me, this is just my perspective, it could looks like a lightning type of ability. And with
Yeah,
that being said, then I pulled that reference from like what Digimon, the original series, had with one of the characters that looks like Megalon.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, like I said, when they made the movie, they used stock footage of Ghidorah's lightning beam that they used in those films to use for Megalon. So clearly, they kind of gave Megalon a similar power, which was still pretty destructive. I mean, he was, trashing some shit pretty easily with that thing. So,
I like that scene in the dam where he just like barrels
oh
through it.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like he walks right through it, and um, this is
Oh, there you go. Oh, yep, there you go. Mm, yep, you muted yourself again. There
okay.
you
Am I
go.
there?
Yep, you know.
I'm sorry about that.
Your computer's like, I don't want you to speak.
Yeah, yeah. This doesn't normally happen. I don't know why.
It's pressure.
Yeah. No, I think the design of Megalon is really cool, and I think the features would make it really impressive and better.
Yeah, and I think that, both Legendary and Toho have kind of proven to themselves right now that they can give you an updated version of some of these creatures. Like King of the Monsters, I thought had really great looks for Ghidorah, Rodan, and Mothra. So I was really
Hmm.
pleased with a lot of that. So I'd be interested to see what they could do with Megalon or Jet Jaguar or any of those Angarius. It'd be nice to see that.
I think Jet Jaguar could use some new features also. One
Oh yeah,
idea, and this is just my theory, is I would like to see a Jet Jaguar TV show with these like new monsters and stuff. Like, you know how they have what you said on Apple TV with the Godzilla stuff?
Monarch. Yeah,
I think it would be cool to have a Godzilla, um, kind of like a zone fighter, I guess, in a sense, because Godzilla was in that show for like 5 episodes. You know what's funny? I was researching this, and this kind of goes with the Godzilla suit. They had the eyes messed up in this movie. After
hmm.
doing the research, looking into this movie, they messed up the eyes and they fixed it in the TV show for Zone Fighter. The same suit or whatever was in this movie or
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, I mean, the Godzilla suits, you'll see they just kind of like change as it goes on. Sometimes they look worse and better. And I think I did my top 5 Godzilla looks in a video a while back. Some of them are a little bit corny to me, and I'm just like, it does not even look like Godzilla. But
Hmm.
So overall, what do you think will be the legacy of Megalon in terms of not just what might happen in the future, but his legacy just in this one film? Like, do you think he's still going to be remembered in the long run, or you think he'll just be kind of forgotten?
I don't think he's gonna be forgotten because you got these people in the newer next current generation with Godzilla, and they might have not seen Megalon. They might have not even seen any of the Showa films, and they are just getting used to it. So there's a lot of stuff that could happen with Godzilla, and where they go with Megalon, who knows? Even just a space variant of Megalon would be cool. Even
Yeah. I'm just curious. I saw something that wasn't even aware of. See if I can find it. Okay. So how long is this? Uh, I know people are like, why aren't you talking? Well, I just wanted to check something out. All right. So let me see if I can do this. And then go here because apparently about a year ago, they made a short film in 2023 with Godzilla versus Megalon. Did you see this at all?
No.
So yeah, let's give it a view here. Do this, then that. All right.
Was these from these shorts that was released last year?
Possibly. It says it's from the Godzilla channel. But I don't know if I ever. I mean, I've seen a couple. I know they did one for like Godzilla and Gigan, which had like a little bit of updated look to Gigan. So I think they did the same thing here. So I'm just gonna play a short clip because I don't know if I have legal rights to play this, but let's kind of give it a whirl here if I can pull it up a little bit bigger. Because I am curious. Sorry?
I said I happen to know somebody that worked on Shin on Facebook.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
That's cool shit.
新たな怪獣が出現したとの情報が入りました。怪獣は地中より出現し、破壊活動を行った後に飛び去ったようです。現在、上空を移動しており、レーダーによる追跡が行われています。
All right, I'll leave it at that because I don't know how much I would get away with showing, but that looked tight. So let me see that picture that you sent me.
It's just
Yeah, so the possibility is there, man. They can really do some cool ass shit.
our technology has advanced that Megalon could be extremely cool.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So this is the Monsterverse, apparently. So yeah, he looks a little chunky, but still very cool.
Uh-huh.
But it's very close to what they were showing in the short video too. If you look at the horn, it's almost a similar design. Yeah, that's cool.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I'll share this link to the short film in our description when we're done. But yeah, that looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I like that upgraded look and the powers. He's got a lot more arsenal, and that beam wraps around whatever creature like Godzilla or whatever. I think that's very cool. So already they've done like some upgrades to him, which, again, I think you and I agreed he should probably introduce them somewhere, either in the Monsterverse or in Toho going forward. Like they just need to start doing that. Like Angarius needs to come back in some form. Jet Jaguar. There's just some forgotten creatures out there that they can really do some nice things with.
I think we could see Gamera getting a new form also with what they
I
did.
think we've all been kind of waiting for that, like Gamera versus Godzilla, but we'll probably never get it. But it'd be sweet to see.
Even a short would be cool, but
Yeah.
I mean, you would have to get the rights from whoever has the rights to Gamera.
Yeah.
And
all right, so we talked about it a little bit. What do you have coming up this week, or was it next week? Yeah, next Thursday. Was it Son of Kong?
Uh-huh. Son of Kong is like a kind of, in a sense, like a connection to Kong, the original. Yeah, we have Son of Kong coming up on Thursday, January 3rd. The next one would be Godzilla versus Kong on the 17th.
Very cool.
I don't know if you want me to go into the week after.
Oh, no, it's fine. Just give people kind of what you got coming up immediately so they can check it out. And as for me, here, obviously, next Wednesday, I'll be doing my top 10 movies of 2024. And then on the 4th, next Saturday, I will be getting together with Jake Hall as we do a Kaiju spotlight on Gigan itself. So we've been talking a little bit about Gigan today. Definitely be doing a spotlight on Gigan going forward. Sir, thank you very much for joining me today. Appreciate it very much. And I would definitely try and make one of your shows at some point. I know I've done one, I think, with you, but I think it was something I wasn't too familiar with.
It was
I'm
the
still
original
learning about some of
Godzilla
this other stuff and this big kaiju world that we have. So
and other stuff other than kaiju, right? You're still.
yeah, I'm
I
very
think.
new to like Ultraman and all this. I've never really seen too much of it, so I'm very
See,
new
I'm
to that
I'm
kind of
I'm
stuff.
like you. I'm kind of blind to Ultraman, but I mean I'm getting used to it.
Yeah,
And the guest that we had when we did King Kong is really, really knowledgeable in it, and I'm sure you'll get him on one of these kaiju spotlights if not something else here in the upcoming months.
yeah, sure. Well, again, thank you, sir. Hang around for a minute, but for the rest of you, please like and subscribe to the Middletown Radio Podcast. Also, please go see this gentleman's page, like and subscribe. I think it's called Tokusatsu Action Land. That's what it's
Mhm.
called, right? So go there, like and subscribe. Check out their content. They have a lot of cool shit up there right now. They have great discussions, and so be sure to check them out. For the rest of you, give us your thoughts. What do you think about Megalon? Should he get renewed, come back? What are your thoughts on the movie? Let us know, good or bad. And we'll see you next time here on the Military Radio Podcast. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Bye.